Hey guys, it's Lori with a voice in the dark. Um, I'm like everyone else in this country going, what the fuck? Because of the showmanship being used, it's truly taking away from anything that uh, could be serious. And I believe that secretly, everyone at home is wondering what the hell. And I asked God, I said, what do you want me to talk on? What do you want me to work on? And he said, I want you to heal the divide. And I went, well, that's a big one. He said, I know. So I'm like, okay. Now I've sat on it for several weeks because even I get caught up in the memes and the propaganda and, da 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 da. However, it's easy to do when you have a comedy show going on that's late night sick comedy, in my opinion. For a lot of us that are empathic and compassionate, it's very difficult to see what's going on. Now, the other part of me that's analytical and would like to really weigh and measure what's really going on, and at this point, there are no easy answers until we see actual proof of things. And in the meantime, I believe our voices need to be heard. Write your senators and congressmen. That's what I'm going to tell you to do. But instead of listening to all the BS out there and the YouTubes and the fake show, I think that this was planned very particularly. And I think that the big question here is, how do we want to proceed as humanity? How do we want to proceed at becoming and evolving as a unified group, which is humanity? I think that's where we're at. We're finding ourselves at the precipice of being at the top of the mountain, getting ready to fall down. But it's the whole world. It's not just us. So I guess what I'm thinking and feeling is, where do we want to be as humanity? Do we want to be authoritarian and the hell with everybody else? Or do we want to be part of the world? And if we do want to be part of the world, what is it we want to see? What is it we want to be? What is it really that you really want? These are the questions I'm really been going through, because I've been hung up since I retired. It was like, what do I want? Here I am at 65, and now I can pick and choose anything I want to do within, my income. And it's driven home more questions than answers. You get riled up and you get scared. You get scared where the world's going right now. But I believe it's a big fake joke thing that they think is a joke. I think it's I think it's a play that was written a long time ago, and they're just getting to the crescendo. And if ever you need to, pick up this book. It's called Behold the Pale Horseman, and or Pale Horse, by William Cooper. It was written in 1946, but it's the actual playbook for the cabal, the elite who run the world, and what they were going to do and how they were going to do it. And systematically, since 1946, they have almost finished. And it's all been written right there for anyone to pick up and read. And they would all think it was crazy and bullshit until you read it now. So we're at a point where we need to decide what we want humanity to be. Do we want to be separated with the arrogant side, or do we want to be on the compassionate side? The biggest thing we're having the problem with in this country is that we realize that, yes, there were problems, and yes, we needed to address them, and yes, we needed to find out what it was being used for, and blah, blah, blah. But the other side that's actually pulling all this out and telling us about it, they're doing their own crap. So it's like playing badminton on a stormy day, you know. Oh, he's got to go run for it. I can take care of this and do this. Bang, you know, like it's two players. That's it. It's two sides of the same coin, really. So as humans, because they're not human, yeah, I'm just going to put it out there. Neither are we, actually. We're golden light beings that are from where Jesus was from, which is another part of space and time, not here. But what astounds me when I just said that is that most people don't even care about that. Most people don't care about reaching in. When Jesus said the kingdom of heaven is in here, that's what he meant. For real. Because we are light beings. We have no real home. I mean, we have a place we gather, kind of, sort of, on a dimension. But overall, we are the kingdom. Each of us make up the kingdom. And not many people really want to take that responsibility on and see what it really means. And I've been stubbornly trying to fight for everyone. Spiritual war is very real. And I have been trying to fight for all of us. And however, and God just says, Mari, they come home. They always come home. It's another 2,000 years for them. And well, the thing is that they're wanting to absorb your souls, your spirit, and say they're not, not going to redo the supposed schooling cycles here. They're going to undo the program. So I guess what I'm asking you, each and every one of you, what do you want? What do you want for a world? I would prefer a world that the children get to run and play and be free again in the neighborhoods without having to worry about getting picked up and stolen or hurt or some pedophile get a hold of them. I would like a world that, the dogs run around the neighborhood because they run in a group because that's what they do. But they all come home for dinner, don't worry. And where the neighbors know each other and we smile and wave and Uh, the wealthy live on the same streets as the poor and everything in between. I don't believe in dystopia, but it might work. I doubt it. Because the human soul, the spirit that we are, that spark of consciousness of God, we are gods in our own right. We have the same abilities and the same ability to reach into cosmic consciousness. And I guess it's the question that should drive us. Who are we? What are we? What can we be? And if I could be anything, what would I be? And then embark on your journey. That's all I can tell you from here. That's what free will's about. And they've taken advantage of that, knowing that, yes, you have free will. And the universe doesn't interfere with it unless you demand it. And there's going to come a point in time in the future you may have to demand it just to be able to get your connection back. So, a lot of truth, all truth is coming out now. But they're also putting out so many lies in the New Age and woke communities. They bastardized it so bad. It's not even real, just like they did the religions. So I guess what I'm saying is learn to meditate, deep breathe. But at this point, what it's looking like is you either care and have a pure heart, or you don't. You're free to worship any way you want. But when you talk to God, that's when you pray. And when you listen to God, that's when you meditate. And it took me a long time to figure out how to do all those things because I took everything Jesus said as real. And I wanted to know. And so I found out. And yes, then I went down the rabbit hole. And it gets so deep and it keeps going and it keeps going. And I just finally put the skids on and said, screw this shit. I know who I am. I know what I am. Now I just have to figure out what I want to do. And what kind of world do I want to have? And focus on that. So to heal the divide, the only thing I could come up with was to ask you the question, what do you want? Do you want to live free and easy by being in your godhood? Or do you just want to keep on going the way it's been going? And because I have no more words at all. And I thought I would. I could sit here and do all the research and, to point fingers at this one and point fingers at that one, and this is what they do and this one. And I'll tell you one thing, if you want to get out of hell, because hell's real, there's 7 levels, but it's identical to here. It just has different lighting. It gets a little darker and darker. And then the atmosphere and the people get darker and darker. And the only way to get out of that, I can tell you, is to know who you are, your own beliefs, and what you stand for, and what you are sure of with your connection with God. God is all that is. Source. And that's how you get out. And to pass the ferryman to get into heaven, well, you got to have a pure heart. So double check yourselves. You can't advance without a pure heart. So again, I ask you, what do you want? The Republican side says that what they want. Hold on. Okay, sorry about that. But the Republican side seems to, most of my friends and whatever, because it's about 50-50. The Republican side say what they want to be able to do is have a right to say where their taxes go. Well, anytime I've ever talked to you before, you just wanted to make sure our war machine was good and strong, that we could always defend ourselves. Well, hell, 56% of the budget is the war machine. Is there some places in the other money, going in bad? But there's always fraud. In every company, every country, there's always fraud. Because there's always criminals. And yes, we realize now that maybe it needed to be audited even deeper and better. So now we know. But do you really want somebody that just goes in and ramshacks the greatest country in the history of the world and let them tear it apart? There was nothing wrong with this country. We had to go in. We needed to make some changes. And yes, there's a bunch of hoopla over. You got two factions fighting here that aren't even supposed to be fighting. They're supposed to be working together, not fighting. And most of them on the liberal side. They are the kindest people. And they would rather err in helping someone than err in by not helping. The thing is what they don't realize is our budget's way out of whack. And that's because we don't tax the billionaires. If we tax the billionaires, even if it's just 1 year at 15%, get us out of the debt, get us out of the hole, as we're adjusting everything so that we find any fraud and we stop it, and all that. There's all countries, all governments, all businesses have got the same things that happen, and they handle it totally different. Not like a bunch of children, bullies. And everybody's wanting to go rah, rah, rah to the dumb football player. The only one. Come on, guys. We're bigger than this. We're better than this. Can't you see that they've been playing us all along? The Democrats and the Republicans, because the elite want this to happen this way. Because we were guaranteed 1,000 years of golden years. So their idea to give us golden years is to give us so much money a month, give us particular cities that we have to live in and particular areas we have to live in according to, not our families, not our friends, nothing like that, according to what work we're able to do. I don't want to be told where to live. I don't want to be told how to live. I don't want to be told what I have to buy and what I can and can't have. But that's what dystopia is. And that's what they're going for. Because they're resentful that we get 1,000 years of golden years, which actually should have meant that we've got 1,000 years to enjoy our godhood, our spirit. And let our spirit come through and create and design and have fun in this matrix. Because, that would put them all in, time out for a while. And they don't want to be put in time out. Well, they should be, because of all the crazy crap they've used to keep us down. The lies in all of our religions. The secrets of all the way this whole matrix works. And us. The truth about us. Jesus tried to come and tell us, but they changed all that. They're immortals. They can hang out and wait it out till a couple generations goes away, and then they backtrack and they start changing up history and rewriting shit and keep going with their plan, not our plan, their plan. So you have the power in you, we all do, to create what we want to see. So stop getting mad at each other. Each one of us is different, uniquely different, and yet similar in our hearts. So go to your hearts and try to understand each other. Make space for each other. Don't always be correcting. And the left side is incredibly bad about that because they're usually better educated. And they can see things differently. However, we've also been lied to a lot about our medicines and our health and our food and all this because they weren't allowed to put a copyright on anything that was natural. Well, they could have done their label, their label could be unique. But that wasn't good enough for them. They wanted to own everything and be in control of everything so that they could take care of us for our 1,000-year golden years. Anyway, besides the point. It may happen anyway, but we'll see. I'm still fighting it. But we need to heal the divide amongst ourselves. That's the most important thing. And if you really care, about your brothers and sisters and friends and family, regardless of their positioning with the Republican or the Democrat, because I firmly believe they've all been working together for a long time. They infiltrated our government about 40 years ago, 50. Well, maybe even longer now. Back in the 40s, they infiltrated and decided that they were going to take over our country because it was so powerful, and it was too powerful. They didn't like it when we got powerful. They didn't like it when we become more individual. That's what they don't like, and that's our blessing to ourselves, the individuality, our uniqueness, and our oneness, unity with the whole universe. So tap into your hearts. Start breathing, deep breathing every day, 5-10 minutes a day, through the heart. And talk to God straight up. No, don't hide anything, and don't talk in parables or anything like that. Just talk to God like you would your best friend. You're confused. You're unsure. Am I doing the right thing? Or what about this? Or what about that? Allow yourself the breadth and expansion of seeing it differently or understanding yourself more and what you're capable of. And then get a hold of me and say, hey, I'm ready to be a superhuman. How would you do that? And hopefully by then I can help guide you to that too. But when Jesus said you can't enter the kingdom of heaven without a childlike mind, he meant don't lose the wonder, the curiosity and the wonder. When you break us down, away from this mind, away from this body, we are golden light beings, and sometimes we just buzz around in a little gold ball. Sometimes we take form. But the thing is that we are nothing but, just like Source, we are nothing but raw joy and sensuality, which is creativity. When when you feel that sensuality build up and you feel it in the groin, and you're supposed to pull it up. You're supposed to pull that energy all the way up through all the chakra centers into your crown. That's our creative center. That's that inner piece of us that starts at our root and comes up and joins through the heart, and then the third eye, which is where we talk straight to God, and he talks back, or she. And the thing is that we're missing our ascension because we're worried about who in the hell is going to be in the office and what the hell they're going to be doing when it's already been earmarked for something totally different. This is just a show to cause disruption to our ascension. So again, I'll ask you, what is it you really want? What's really important to you? Is it your soul, your spirit, or is it this year or this lifetime? What is it? What is it you really want? What do you really care about? And what are you willing to do to work towards it? This is the only way I could see to help the divide heal. And that's through the heart. I've spent a lot of time thinking and, mulling it over, and I finally decided all I could do was bring it as a question to the world. What do you really want for humanity and this world? And then talk to God and learn to listen. And God talks in whispers. And I've talked about it in other videos. You have to go look. But that's all I got tonight. I love you. And Godspeed with everything and whatever you end up doing and wanting. My email is always in there if you have any questions. And yeah, it's the question that drives us. Do you have a question? Let me know if you do. I'll talk to you later. Lori out.